Previously, in a brave new world, the party returned from the plane of air, battered, bloodied, and carrying the prize they had nearly died to claim, the Zephyr Glass. But there was no celebration waiting for them on the other side of the portal. Instead, they stepped into chaos. The leaders of Prince Great College were already locked in battle. The portal chamber had become a killing ground, its air poisoned by shadow and necrotic power. Two towering undead horrors stood before the barrier. Massive nightwalkers, creatures of darkness and decay, servants of the same nightmare force that has hunted the party across the world. Lysandra held a sphere of invulnerability around herself, barely maintaining the line. The other leaders fought desperately to keep the creatures from breaking through. And as the party entered, the Nightwalkers turned their burning eyes toward them. The Chosen Ones had a reshift, and the monsters knew. Fire failed, cold faltered, lightning crawled across their bodies with little effect. But when Jay hurled his strange pop-rock explosive, force energy tore into the creature with brutal effectiveness. The party adapted quickly. Nietzsche twisted magic through her own dangerous quintessence, turning raw arcane power into force. Raimi's arrows struck true again and again, blessed by the gods of chaos for one impossible volley. Horsk called on Rikor's light to keep his allies standing, and Alenia fought through necrotic rot as the creatures tried to drain the life from her body. Then Horsk raised his holy power and commanded the dead to flee. One Nightwalker broke and ran back through the portal. The other was cut down, dissolving into black ooze and leaving strange glittering gold behind. The portal was sealed once more, but the victory was not comforting. The college leaders had seen many things from beyond the plains. They had not seen this. Something had followed the party. Something had noticed them, and something was getting closer. That night, the party rested in Prin under strange circumstances. Alenia, touched by the gods of chaos, became unnaturally cheerful, praising the food, the room, the sunrise, her friends, and nearly everything in existence with terrifying enthusiasm. Nietzsche denied the comfort of her magnificent mansion, protected herself from the room's more toxic atmosphere, with a wall of force over her bed. By morning, the party was summoned before the council. There, Lord Franks Marshal of the Azure Light arrived with Arthur and brought grim news. Another Azure Light party, the Murder Hornets, had passed through Prin and left their own trail of disaster. Their conflict had drawn the attention of Trigon, the Devourer of Souls, a demon god with a vendetta against the guild. The party learned that their own struggle against Hathenster and Sharkeen may no longer be separate from the Murder Hornets' war with Trigon. Across the world, the barriers between planes are weakening. Shadow presses against reality. The Feywild pushes back. Makanos has opened. Demons stir. Shadow creatures hunt. And the gods of chaos now seem to target the Azure Light directly, sometimes blessing, sometimes cursing, always changing the field beneath their feet. Then came the most important revelation. The party reviewed the ritual components they had gathered, the ember of mistletoe, the coral, and now the Zephyr Glass. Only one remained, an elder elemental heart, a dark red crystal taken from an ancient earth elemental somewhere within a pocket plane of elemental earth. Not a simple creature, not a beast, something massive, something closer to a living mountain. And then fortune or fate intervened. Dark returned with a map left behind by the Murder Hornets. The map pointed to Belmont's Bluff, where a mine near the mountains showed signs of a breach into elemental earth. The party no longer had to search blindly. Their next path had been given to them. Before leaving Prynne, the party resupplied. Rum was requested. Far less rum was provided than requested. Alenia stole a small pocketbook from a college clerk and later casually stole a red potion from Horusc. Horusc visited a smith but found no weapon better than his Corkslayer. At Lenny's magical emporium, the party bought healing potions, sold what they could, and Jay purchased gauntlets of ogre power, gaining the promise of ogre-like strength once attuned. With their business done, the party returned to the Sea Strider. The ship was ready. The crew had recovered. Orge greeted her captains, though Alenia's unnatural joy made her suspect heavy rum use. Strider himself appeared, eager to leave port and feel the wind in his sails again. The course was set. Belmont's Bluff awaited. Days passed at sea. Oxburgh slipped behind them. Piedon passed in the distance. The chaos effects faded one by one until Alenia's mood and hair finally returned to normal. Eventually, the party reached Breaching, the nearest practical port to continue inland. They chose not to linger. Instead, they joined a caravan heading in the right direction, agreeing to serve as guards in exchange for passage. But as dusk settled over the road, danger found them again. Remy and Alenia saw it first, a huge bird-like shadow cutting through the fading sky. An enormous, owl-shaped horror descended from the dark, its body blending with the night itself. It struck the caravan with terrible force, knocking Remy down and scattering the guards. Alenia leapt onto its back. Jay followed, launching himself onto its horned head. Together they clung to the monster as it beat its wings, snapped with its beak, and raked them with the talons. Horusc hurled divine light. Remy marked it and fired from the cart. Nietzsche tried to banish it, but the creature resisted, refusing to be cast away. The battle turned vicious. The creature's wounds did not bleed. They smoked. Black wisps poured from its body where steel and magic pierced it. It fought like something half real and half shadow, armored, powerful, and cruel. Then it screamed. The sound tore through the caravan like death itself. 6 merchants collapsed lifeless to the ground. The fight nearly turned. The gods of chaos intervened again, healing the monster and worsening the danger. But Horusc called upon Rekor, and this time the god answered. An elemental treant, an aspect of divine nature, rose to aid him. Nietzsche conjured Bigby's hand and dragged the creature down from the air. Grappled, stunned, grounded, and surrounded, the shadow owl finally began to break. Remy ended it. Her arrow flew through, striking through the creature's eye and bursting from the back of its skull. The monster exploded into black smoke, and as it vanished, every mind heard the same final promise. I shall return. When silence fell, Horusc moved among the dead. One by one, through Rekor's light, the slain merchants breathed again. The caravan had been saved not merely from attack, but from death itself. Grateful beyond words, the caravan promised the party triple pay. The night ended with the road still ahead, Belmont's Bluff still waiting, and the final ritual component somewhere beneath the mountains. The party has the map. The breach has been found. The last ingredient lies ahead. And in the darkness behind them, something that died has promised it is not finished.